is Back in Blue Adventures. Got a quick call from a few friends down in Nicaragua, make a quick trip down there. Things worked out. Ended up doing some snook fishing and some duck hunting. Hope you enjoy. We caught our plane about 7:30 in the morning, got into Managua about midday, got our car and tried to just beeline it straight for Chinandega, so that way we could try to get out for that afternoon snook bite. The way we got into Managua, got our car, got everything packed in. The place is like a mad zoo in the middle of Managua. It's a big city, cars everywhere, and basically we drove from big city to big country in a matter of 4 hours. Just hauling butt as fast as we can to get there and beelined it straight for the boom shack.
Back down here in Chinandega, gonna go out there, try to catch a couple of rooster fish, maybe another snook. Early morning Saturday. Weather's beautiful. Got my buddy Buster here with me.
I mean, just the scenery here is insane.
It is really pretty.
I mean, you got a freaking volcano right there, a giant volcano sitting in front of you.
Anybody who knows anything about snook fishing and inlet fishing knows that tide is a huge factor that plays into the success of your day. And well, our day was basically around the tide. And when we first got out there, the tide was gushing out. I mean, you could barely keep your lure straight in the water without it drifting out to sea. The tide was just running out on that coming down of a full moon. And Juan Carlos pretty much knew it. So we got back in the boat after the first river mouth, ran out to the rocks for a bit, and made a few casts, not a lot of bait or anything, saw a few fish blowing up here and there. Decided to run in, have a little bit of something to eat, come back out when the tide was a little bit better, which was only like an hour down the road. And literally, as soon as we were coming in that inlet, you could see Juan Carlos's face just grin, and he knew that that tide was just doing what it needed to do. And we basically pulled up on the beach. He had that anchor thrown out, a rod in his hand, and was running down to the corner with a big old smile on his face before any of us ever knew what was up. He made one cast out there. First cast, one snook. We knew it was on. It was great. And that's pretty much how the afternoon went from there on out.
First off, our tackle is basically a Penn Battle 6000, which, believe it or not, this is a Shimano rod, kind of conflicting interest, but you know, we use what we can use down here. This is an 8-foot medium heavy, 20 to 40 pound test, and this is a long A bomber, blueback. Basically tied on to 50-pound fluorocarbon leader with 60-pound Power Pro, and that's pretty much how we're getting it done down here. Last night, we were throwing these out in the river there, and literally the water was just smoking through there. I mean, it was unbelievable, the speed, the velocity, the amount of water. We're coming down off of a full moon tide right now, and the tides are really extreme. So once that tide turns around and the water starts to really move, it's getting it. I mean, it is running at a hell of a pace, and it's once it gets up to a little bit better than your thigh, it's all you can do just to stand there and not get knocked over. So last night, when we were using the bombers off the side of that little ledge there, we were just casting off into the eddy, basically as far as we could, retrieving the bombers back, and there would be schools of snook that would just periodically come by the thing. It wasn't like a single pack of snook were in a single spot. You know, the tide starts to move, the bait starts to flush over the sand, and next thing you know, there's snook there ready to eat them, and then we're there ready to catch them. So this is basically the whole rig we were using. It's basically a simple old school method of catching fish. Use it a lot in Sebastian, use it a lot in Ponce Inlet, and use it a lot here, and it still works. It's like just a good way to get a long distance cast. It works well in current, and the snook here tend to like it. Well, we didn't have a whole lot of time in this trip, so what we did is we basically just went back, flayed up the fish we wanted to eat, brought it to Chincletas. They cooked it up for us. We crashed out, took off the next morning. We were invited to a duck hunt in Managua, basically on our way to the airport, and didn't have a whole lot of time. It was literally like an hour-and-a-half duck hunt, but apparently the ducks there are so plentiful that it's just a no-brainer. All right, well, we just left Chinandega, had a great time snook fishing. Now we're back in Managua here, and we're about to go hunting for some ducks here with my friend Doc.
Let's go. Yeah. There'll be some more up ahead, always on the right-hand side. You'll see some more blue-winged teal come out.
All right, Christian's gonna have to stand behind me or to the side of me and make it look like I'm actually shooting those things. I don't know if I'll shoot anything moving that dang fast.
I'm a lot more of a fisherman than I am a hunter, that's for sure. Anybody who knows me knows that. When I got invited to go duck hunting with Doc and Christian, I didn't really know what to expect, but they really have their stuff together. I mean, you know, brand new guns, ducks flying everywhere. I mean, they just really knew what they were doing. So you're saying that this place is mainly a place that has, it's not the rice fields with the real fast ducks. These are more
exactly. See, when you talk about fast ducks, you're mainly talking about blue-winged teal, shovelers, pintails, most of the migratory species that come down to the country. So when you have a group that says we want fast ducks, that where you take them to the rice fields.
Yeah.
Here you mainly find these black-bellied ducks, the pitchy willows, which we call them down here.
Yeah.
And you know, they fly a bit slower and a bit higher.
Yeah.
So you're actually finding yourself reaching for them high in the sky.
But you're saying you get huge numbers of them out here.
Numbers. It all depends on how well you're covered. You gotta be well camouflaged. You know, these birds have a good eye.
That's a big old mess of birds, though.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the other ones turning back. That's like half a flock turning the other way now. That's too far, isn't it?
I was kind of pushing it, but it's You can see that one. That kind of hits going down. See?
Yeah, yeah. No way.
As you can notice, it's 2 birds. We each took 1 shot each, and that's exactly the amount we have in our hands right now.
That's right, yeah, one shot out, 1 bird down, that's how I do it. Pretty cool though, I mean there's so many birds out here, it's unbelievable. I mean just seeing them, there's gotta be thousands of them sitting in the marsh back there, and they're literally just flying right on over our heads. Unreal. Hopefully we get a few more shots at them.
Did he fall or
that dropped in there.
Yeah.
Al lado izquierdo de la mata esta. Sí, de ese monte.
That is the job that you may not want to have in duck hunting, is being the bird boy, running out there in waist deep water, having to pick up the birds. All right, Christian, well shoot, I really appreciate you taking us out here, showing us this area. My first duck hunt ever. I've never been experienced anything like this before. I think it was amazing, all the flocks of ducks. I mean, just the sheer numbers of birds that you have flying over here.
Well, it's it's the 80 to show a spot with a whole bunch of ducks, and all the different things you can actually do out here. We were out here for just an hour, just before you guys got on the plane, and as I said, it's a spot where you can make this hunt as easy or as difficult as you want. You can get out there in the marsh, or just stay on the side and get camouflage, get covered up, and just wait for those birds to fly on top of you.
Yeah, that's what's really amazing about it, is that literally I got a call from you guys on my way to the airport, said, hey, come on out here, we'll go shoot some ducks. And I didn't really know what I was in for. I thought maybe I'd see a couple ducks flying here and there, but literally it's like we drove up, we parked the car, and the ducks are just flying from the estuary to the lake, and you just shoot as they fly over. It's absolutely amazing. I mean, I might actually be a duck hunter now, I think.
Well, we got a couple of shots, we got a couple of birds. You're already a duck hunter, all right?
All right, bro. Thank you very much, Christian.
Sure.